Hello YouTube, this is Ready Set Exploit, and we're going to be doing Snap Phishing Line, which is a digital forensic challenge from TryHackMe, in which we're going to analyze a phishing kit in order to find a malicious site that collects credentials. We will start with some emails that we can inspect. It will lead us to a malicious site that is hosting the phishing kit. We can explore the site a little bit, learn more about it. Then we can even explore the phishing kit itself to learn a little bit more about the adversary and find out which accounts are compromised and how I can capture the passwords, how they're sent and such. So it's a very fun room, so without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started. So the room does provide you with a virtual machine, and all the emails are found under this directory, and the only tool available is CyberChef, which we can access via the browser. So I'm going to start a terminal first, and I'm just going to make this bigger so I can see. There you go, that's okay. I'm also going to the directory itself. So first thing we notice is there are 5 files. So let's do desktop, there, let's do that. So we have, there's 4 files that are almost the same. Group marketing online, 4 different emails, 4 different users, and we have one that's different. Quote for service rendered. So let's look at the one that's different first. We can open it with Thunderbird, it's a .eml file. Usually I use an online site to sometimes view them, because I don't use Thunderbird unlike Kali, but it's provided here, and if it's provided, you can view it. You can also just cat it, but then it gives you some of the content via base64. It's not always best to read. See, you have to decode it anyway. I usually look at this if I want to look at the headers, right? Which you can also do on Thunderbird, but here. First thing we notice, there is an attachment, PDF attachment. Good day as discussed, so a link. So we see that it is from this email to our user here, so we have another user. Okay, so let's download this. Let's save it, and let's just save it here for now. And now we can also look at the other one. Might as well look at this too while we're at it. So very small. Oh, where we go? There you go. There's a PDF. There's an Office 365. There's a link. Hover over the link. We do have a host name, kindarose.buzz, and an URL. Keep that handy. Let's see. The other emails, they're all the same. They all have this direct credit advice. And it looks pretty similar, so let's save that. Same place. You know what I am going to do is I'm going to make a directory called evidence and move. Let's see, what's it called? Quote? No. Direct. There we go, to evidence. Move quote PDF to evidence. Work out of there. So if we keep everything more or less. So we could open this with Firefox. Before I do that, it is a HTML which we can view, and we have a similar link to the quote. So kindarose.buzz. And this part is kind of interesting. It's just the way the VM was set, but typically with TryHackMe VMs, we don't have internet access within the VM itself, right? For various reasons, if it's hosted on a cloud service like AWS, it'll be expensive. So, but if we kept the host file, that's our host name, and it is also being hosted on a Docker container somewhere. So so just a little fun fact if you're wondering how come there's access. So we can look at that email. Actually, what I am going to do is this, the particular room. The room wants you to focus on a particular user, Zoe. So let's do that. So let's actually remove this. Which one's Zoe? This one, this one. It doesn't matter. This site will go the same, but just to, keep it according to the room. So let's do that. Close this, don't need it. And as you can see, it's the same link. So there you go. So actually, let's see. When I open both, there's a particular reason. So let's copy this link. Fire up Firefox. And this is looks like it's a phishing URL. Note of the directory here, email. So it already has the email set. Some error. So now let's go there. Quick note for the room. Whenever you're handling URLs for reports, submission, you want to send to a client, even a colleague, always good practice to defang the URL. The room also comes with a local installation of CyberChef. And in this room, we just need, you can escape all of them, but we just need the HTTP and the dots. Okay, and you see it escapes it, so it makes it non-malicious when somebody is looking at it. They can, of course, remove and they can see what's been replaced. They can remove it if they actually want to visit the URL. But this is just a good safety tip. So, and it's also one of the answers of the room. So keep that in mind. But anyway, so see, we have a Microsoft site. This is definitely not the real Microsoft site, but it looks like it. One thing to notice is now we are dealing with a PHP page. So very interesting. Let's see. Let's use tools. Usually I would use something like Burp, but getting used to the console is also a very good tool, especially if you want to see some quick results. I usually like dark mode, but for this case, let's do it anyway. Yeah, there we go. Picky. So let's submit a bogus password, password 321. See what happens. So it's going, so now it's going to submit.php, and that's interesting. Let's go over here. If we copy this link address, and we go to that one, it's an HTTPS, which we know doesn't work. So let's fix it. And it takes us to another different URL. It's like some kind of randomly string. So that's good to know. This is hanging. While it does that, let's see. If we eliminate this giant string, it generates it again. So let's eliminate this one. Oh, good. Okay, let's see what this domain is all about. Can we do that? Okay, it's loading. Takes a second. See where it takes us. Oh, WordPress site. So there's nothing going on here. It's just pretty bare, right? If we switch our minds to like a bit of a red team, we see there's an admin user. So if we somehow figure out the admin password, we could log in. But we timed out, and we have see, now it goes to submit, and this is see, it's the random string. It could be a hash, could be something office. But now that we checked out this site, we don't have GoBuster, but we do know there's a data directory. Let's check that out. And we have a zip file. This is probably the phishing kit. And let's download it and see what happens. Let's see, I'm gonna extract it from downloads here. For anything, let's check the 256 of file. See what it needs. And in this case, I need to use a tool like VirusTotal. So VirusTotal is great. You can check files, URLs. All you can do general search for hashes, domains, IP addresses, URLs. Let's do the hash. And we get a lot of hits right off the bat. So this is phishing hits, this is kind of Trojan, phishing, lots of hits here. Details gives us the different hashes. So gives us the history. This was first submitted on April 8th, 2020, down to the time. So always good to know how far back this goes. Last analysis, last submission. So earliest content modification. Go to community. There's this. This was downloaded. Details. I want to see if the dates match. So this was first submitted on the 8th, but this was a little bit later. This was also reported. So a different, and this actually I think matches with the email. Just caught that now. Let's see. Yeah, group marketing online. What is that? Let's see, groupmarketingonline.icu. Groupmarketingonline.icu. Little fun facts. Makes this room a little bit more fun. So, that said, let's see. What else do we have? So we know when it was first submitted, right? What about the domain? Let's see, where'd it go? The domain, Rose.buzz, can also be searched. See if that's been used anywhere. Let's give that a try. And we get a bunch of hits too. So let's look at the details, look at the DNS records, phishing, other frauds. The last HTTPS certificate. So when was this registered? Not before June 25th, 2020. So now it's very good to check out the domains because we get to see things like registration, how long it's been active. It all helps with the report and building an overall picture of what was taken. Okay, so done with VirusTotal for now. Let's go back here. So before we go into the phishing kit, let's check out the more directories. There's this log file. And this is actually not on the phishing kit, so this is being generated. You could tell by the date as well. So we have, oh, okay, so this is where the credentials are being stored. See, this one, Michael, that's one of our users. So Michael fell for it twice, come on, fell for it twice. And then this one's a terrible password. And that's us, that's our password. So we know this is, for sure we know this is where being collected, and it's being collected right now. So it tells us the IP address, tells us like, you know, our user agent, client IP. Very interesting. I like that. So with that said, let's see what else was there. If we click on Office, we know that it generates this weird string. So now we can dive a bit more into the, so we're gonna unzip it. Got a lot of files. So let's go update. Let's see, Office. So you see the log file's not here. We have a lot of different files here. Robots, error log. But remember where was, I think it was entered password. So find from here. Probably one of those directories, but if you don't want to, if there's a lot more, you can always just do this name. I think it's entered password PHP. I could just also check on my history, type F, and it's in the validation. What's in everything else? Source is empty, script up is a lot of different scripts here. Interesting extensions. Update also has these. Let's go into validation then. What's going on? So there it is, enter password PHP. But then after that, it went to submit. So let's check submit. And there it is. So it takes a random number. Okay, it's probably those random strings we saw. The URL, yeah, random number, date. Okay, hash date. Okay. URL. Right here, password check. It's a password check. Oh, and that's what we saw in the log file, right? And then it says, oh, and then it sends it to, so it sends it to this email. There's a send variable, and it creates it. Let's see, yeah, creates this array. If the password check is no good, 0. If it's good, so no. Otherwise, yeah, mail sends to this email. There we go. Otherwise, retry. So, yeah, very interesting here. So we got our first email. Any other emails? Well, let's see if the password is being used more than once. We could do grep password. It's a lot. And this jQuery file. Let's ignore that. Let's see, jQuery. I'm just going to delete it. We don't really need it. I could always unzip it. It's just, we could use grep, but I'm going to validation, JS, jQuery. There we go. That's a lot nicer. Okay, so before the submit was using a post request. We can also see that. See post. So it does a post request. Yeah, there we go. Does a post request on it. But we see a couple of get requests here. See enter password. And we saw that in submit as well. Oh, there it is. Post. But where are all these get requests from? So let's see. These are all from update. So let's look at the first one, update CMD. They all seem to be the same. Message, yeah, they all seem to be the same. So let's look at script. And okay, so this matches too. So it looks like this is another script that is being used and it sends to a different email. So this could just be another script, depends how the site is built. So let's look at script up. So okay, so these tend to be more or less the same. Yeah, some of them are the same, some of them a little bit different. So what is difference between -c, news, Marvin? Not much. Maybe like the position might be different. Okay, so not a lot, but they're still more or less the same. Yeah, see, so if you look at Marvin, what was the other one? News. And really just the same, I think. They're a little bit different, it's maybe in some ways. Yeah, I think this one's smaller. This one has this login. But Marvin has, okay, it has these. This has them in a, so it's just the placement of certain things. Okay, well, we have another email. So essentially, depending on how it's used, it'll send it to that James standard email, or it'll send it to the other email that we found. Let's get out of here. Let's visit these pages on the site. Right here, we saw that it's submit, right? So let's see. And so that we know that's the validation. We know that's the validation directory, right? Submit here. Let's probably going to index will redirect me, right? Validate you now. So if we do something like index, see, it takes me back to that site. But if I do something like retry, it gives me the actual, okay, so it tells me, so not all of it works. We can't go to validation because we know that's this weird directory. If we try it, we probably will fail. Yeah, not found. Let's see, what else can we try? What's this weird one? See if that's on there. Not found, okay. So after, let's do redirect to inbox. See what's going on there. Okay, key email. Alright, that's fine. It's all fake anyway. Let's go back. Let's see. Whoops. Went too far back. What's this blocker? I'm like, okay, check it out. Now we can go back one. Doesn't exist. We can't see because it is working. So it bans IPs. Host names, get host names. So it gets our remote address and it does so it blocks if it's Google, software layer, Amazon. So it blocks certain domains. So it just says if it comes from here, it's not found. Interesting. For each banned IP, also tells us it's now found. Okay. So what else? What else do we have? Delete. Let's look at delete. Okay, so this was working, but it's having some warnings. No such file exists because it's probably looking at our server. And let's see. Bar dub dub dub. There is no bar dub 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 for us. So, because it's on the Docker container, so it's trying to delete it. So let's see. This looks familiar. Delete. Oh, okay. We have a flag file. That's located in, let's see, that's located in, where to go? Data, update Office 365. Right here. Ah, there we go. Okay. This looks like base64. So, what am I gonna do? Let's see. Let's see. Echo dash n base64. Let's see. Let's delete some of these until we see if we get it right. Decode. Okay, that doesn't look bad. Aha. All right. Let's do some more. Until this doesn't say invalid input. Ah, there we go. So now this is in reverse. I could do REV. There we go. So if you take the original text, it will, and you echo it, decode it, and reverse it, it'll give you the flag that we're looking for. I just don't want to reveal it here. But that pretty much does the room. So we learned a lot. You know, we learned about the domain, how it's working. We got the source code. We learned a little bit of history about it, the different emails. So, you know, pretty straightforward room, but still lots of fun. Gives you a good introduction to how, you know, digital forensics works. And this was built from a real case. If you read the room description, also the creator does currently work for as a blue teamer, so a lot of their rooms are pretty realistic. So if you're really interested in blue team digital forensics, that you know the room creator will keep an eye out for more of their creations because that's realistic as they'll get. So anyway, that was the room. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and see you all next time.